All right, I just want to clarify my position on this David Price Alexander Povetkin fight because some people have got it twisted and misconstrued what I said in my previous video about this fight, as expected. There's always some people who don't get it. To make it very clear for you, I am not picking David Price to win this fight. Let's just get that very, very clear. What I said was, if I was to have a throwaway gamble on Price because the odds are so attractive, Price is something like 125 to 1 to win in the 9th round, 10th round, 11th round, and 12th round by KO. 125 to 1, right? These are huge odds. Price to win on points is 40 to 1. Price to win at all, I think is, I don't know what it is, like 9 to 1, 10 to 1, something like that. Because the odds are so attractive, if I was a betting man, which I'm not, I would actually go for Price on points if I was to have a throwaway bet. You put £1 on, you get £40 back if Price wins on points. If you bet on a specific round, Price by KO, like on the 10th, you get £125 back for betting £1. So even if in your head you're thinking there's no way Price is going to do it, you might be tempted just to put a pound on because it's only a pound. What are you going to lose, really? Understand what I'm saying there, all right? Now, my logic, in terms of if I was going to put a bet on, I would bet Price on points rather than Price by KO. My logic is Povetkin's never been KO'd. He's been down against Klitschko. Klitschko's a massive puncher. And he's been in there with several other big punchers and nobody's managed to knock him out. So I think Povetkin's going to be too tough for David Price to finish off. He might be able to drop Povetkin or hurt him. I don't think he'll be able to finish him off. Look at David Price in the Tony Thompson rematch. He dropped Thompson. He couldn't finish him off. In fact, he gassed out trying to finish Thompson off. Same thing with Christian Hammer. He gassed out trying to finish Christian Hammer off. So I don't think he'll be able to finish Povetkin even if he did manage to land a big shot and drop him. And also I think Price's approach tactically now is different now that he's with his new trainer Derry Matthews. Before, Price was concentrating a lot on power. Now with Derry Matthews, looking at the Sokolovsky fight, his last fight, it appears that he's just trying to stick and move and stay out of the way and just use his height and reach to be as awkward as possible, almost emulating or trying to emulate what Tyson Fury does. Just stick and move, you're 6'8", you got long arms, stay out of the way, and when your opponent gets close, just tie him up. Don't even try and bang with him. Because you look at Price in the Erkan Tepa fight, he was trying to bang with Tepa early in that fight in the first round. He was trying to bang with him. And against Christian Hammer, he wasn't really trying to bang with Hammer, but because he was so heavy in that fight, like in the 270s, he was slow on his feet, so Hammer was able to get close to him easily and, put him under pressure and eventually get him out of there. Whereas now, if you look at how he fought against Sokolovsky, he was moving the whole fight. I've never seen Price fight like that before. Be so concentrated on lateral movement, moving around and just trying to be an awkward, evasive target. So look, people saying it's unlikely Price is going to win on points, it's highly unlikely. Of course it's highly unlikely, but it's highly unlikely that Price is going to win by a knockout as well. It's highly unlikely that Price is going to win at all. But again, if I was to take a gamble, a random, stab in the dark gamble, I would put my £1 on Pricey winning on points rather than Pricey by KO. Personally, even though the KO odds are far more attractive, I just feel like he won't be able to stop Povetkin. If a miracle happens and he won the fight, I think he'd probably do it on points, or maybe he'd get Povetkin on cuts or something like that. But if the miracle happened, I'd be putting my £1 on Pricey on points. And I know Pricey's got terrible stamina. I know this. Again, I understand that Pricey winning whatsoever is highly unlikely. I know he's got terrible stamina. I think he has been 10 rounds once. And I remember him doing that 10 rounds. He did it at a decent clip. Yeah, he wasn't totally gassed out and looking like Frank Bruno in the 12th round against Oliver McCall when he did that 10 rounds. He did it okay because it's not just about uh, Pricey's physical condition, it's about his mental state. This is why he gasses out in fights, because even in the Christian Hammer fight, Dave Coldwell after the fight said that Pricey was doing 12 rounds in the gym, no problem. He wasn't gassing out in the gym. But when he gets in the ring, there's some kind of mental issue there where he gasses out, when he feels under pressure and the doubts start creeping into his head, he starts panicking and he just burns up all this nervous energy. And before you know it, he's knackered. And he's leaning over the top rope and he can barely pull himself back into the ring. So all this kind of stuff happens. I understand it's very improbable Pricey winning, but that's the logic behind it, people. I think Povetkin's too difficult for Pricey to get out of there. He's too tough. Although, we'll see what he's like without the juice. Maybe he's more vulnerable without the juice, because there are certain PEDs apparently which can even allow you to take a better shot, and perhaps something Povetkin was on allowed him to do that. I don't know. It's just speculation. I was very surprised, actually. I remember in my post-fight video for Klitschko Povetkin, I was very surprised that Povetkin was able to not only take Klitschko's best shots for 12 rounds, but also that he was able to still have energy late in the fight after being leaned on for 12 rounds incessantly by a huge man who was getting away with unbelievable fouling in that fight. And somehow Povetkin still had energy late in the, I was amazed that somebody could take that kind of beating and be leaned on and still have energy. I really was scratching my chin looking at how Povetkin was able to do that in that fight. Will he have that kind of durability now that he's off the juice? I don't know. So maybe that is something to consider. But if he has the punch resistance that he had against Klitschko, then I don't see Pricey getting him out of there. He might be able to drop him, might be able to hurt him. I don't see him finishing him off. Pricey don't have a good track record of finishing guys off who are of any kind of level, So yeah, if the miracle happens, I reckon it's going to take place on points for Pricey. Yeah, as bad as his stamina is, I think he'll try and do his best Tyson Fury impression, stay out the way, and that would be how the miracle would happen. So anyway, we'll see. Hopefully it's a fun fight. Pray for Pricey, people. Pray for Pricey. Hashtag pray for Pricey. Is that man, I'm out.